welcome back to our channel. Welcome to a brand new video. Apologies for this angle and the lighting, everything's just a little bit all over the place, but it is what it is. It is currently Friday afternoon and it has been such a nice day today, like proper blue skies, sunshine. It's just like so nice and bright. I feel like you're not getting the full vibes of like how springy it feels. The camera keeps going really dark and I don't know why, but I thought I would start this video now. I'm just in a very spring mood and I feel like I want to give the house a little bit of a, I'm not going to say spring clean because that's definitely not what I'm going to do, but I do want to have a little bit of like a clean around, a tidy. I've got a little bit of time and I just feel like the sun is giving me all of the energy to just like get stuff done. I thought I would show you a couple of bits that I've been buying because I have done another Temu order. A very small one. I didn't get much at all, but I thought I would just show you the bits that I did pick up. I've got a couple of bits from Dunelm as well. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna have a little bit of a like a clean around in the kitchen this afternoon. I need to wash the floor. That is the one big thing that I need to do. But obviously once you wash the floor, you then can't like walk on it until it's dry, which is very like impractical at this time of the afternoon. It's currently 4:10, so Louis will be home soon. I'm gonna start doing my tea soon, which I know is very early, but I'm just finding that I do have quite bad heartburn in the night and my food just kind of feels like it's like sitting on my stomach, or like I'm literally just, it's gonna come back up in the middle of the night. So I kind of feel like the earlier I can eat, the better, because I don't think it's helping that like usually I'll eat my tea and then I sort of like sit on the sofa for the night. And then I also go to bed quite early, so it might only be a couple of hours after I've actually ate like a full-on meal that then I'm just laid down the whole time afterwards. So yeah, I'm trying to sort of eat a little bit earlier if I can, and then keep myself busy for a little bit afterwards, so I'm still moving around afterwards before just sort of like laying on the sofa. I've got a little bit of painting left to do. I'm hoping that this weekend is going to be my last weekend of painting because it is just getting a bit tedious now and I want it to be done. I don't know whether you can see it behind me. I've literally just got the top half of this fireplace to mist coat. I did the bottom half last weekend, but I just left the top half that I needed like ladders and stuff for. I think I'd had enough last weekend. I've had a nightmare with this beam as well that I've been painting. This has been going on for weeks and I've given it about 2 if not 3 coats and it just looks patchy and it's just bothering me. All of the paint started like peeling off as well. I think from when we had this room plastered and when we did the original mist coat, there's obviously just some areas where the mist coat wasn't watered down enough basically, or the plaster maybe wasn't as dry as it should have been. So when I've started painting over some areas, the paint underneath, like that white mist coat, is peeling off. So a big section of the beam started peeling off, and ideally I would have like properly sanded it and repainted it and stuff, but I just don't have the capacity to do that. I just can't cope, so I just need to get some white paint on it and it look okay. But I think I'm going to get Louis to use the bigger roller and go over this beam one more time, but I am going to do that wall behind me because I can just take it easy, take it slow, and hopefully that will be done by Sunday night and I don't have to look at any more paint for a long time. Fingers crossed. Good morning everyone. It has been a couple of days since I last spoke to you. We're now at 31 weeks pregnant. I've got my little mummy's mug, which is really cute. We have just got back from a walk not long ago. We just took the dog out. It's actually a really nice day outside. Well, it has been for the past couple of days, to be honest. The sun has been shining and it's feeling a little bit more like spring at the moment. It's still cold and it has been quite windy the past few days, but I feel like I'm just having a little bit of a hormonal pregnancy day. I don't have these very often. I feel like I've been really lucky with like all pregnancy symptoms. I really haven't suffered at all with anything. I've thoroughly enjoyed being pregnant. Even now, like getting sort of closer towards the end, there's aches and pains and a little bit of like uncomfortableness here and there, but on the whole I still feel really good. Same goes with like hormones. I've not been really emotional or anything like out of the ordinary basically, but I do just have the odd day where I'm just a little bit more emotional or hormonal than other days. And I feel like today I'm just a little bit like irritable. I feel quite angry today. Everything, the slightest thing is really like bothering me. So yeah, I'm trying to just take it slow, have like a nice chill day. I'm going to try and fill the day with nice things and things that I know will make me feel good. I might swap our bedding over. I got some new bedding from Dunelm that was delivered a few days ago, so I'll show you that. But yeah, I might just have like a little potter around the house and just make things look nice, and hopefully it'll make me feel a little bit better. I do feel better after going out for a walk as well, especially when it's like blue skies and the sun is shining, and we just walked through the woods near us, which is always really nice. So yes, that is where we're at today. I thought I'd give you a quick update because I know I said I was gonna paint and then I would like show you where we're at. So I would say the painting is pretty much done. There's a few tiny little areas here and there that I probably will get Louis to like touch up at some point. But my dad actually came round yesterday and he pretty much painted for me, which I was actually so grateful for because I was planning on doing it all myself. I'd got up, taken the dog out. Louis was doing a job all day yesterday, so he was out of the house. And he had already said to me that he'd prefer me not to be like up and down ladders, especially while he's not here. My dad quite often works weekends, but he was off all of this weekend, so he actually just rang me yesterday morning and just said like, do you want a hand? And I was like, yeah, actually I do. So he pretty much spent all day here yesterday and he did the majority of the painting. So I'll show you how things are looking. So this wall is now all painted. I don't know how well it'll come across on camera, but it feels so much better. Like I can't explain how much just painting this room has made it feel so much more like homely. And I think I mean you do just get used to your environment, and obviously there's still areas of this house that aren't great, but we don't even notice things anymore. Like we still don't have skirting board in here, which to me is just not a big deal at all. I literally don't even notice because there's so much worse like elsewhere in the house, and we've lived with it as we have for so long that you just do become a bit like immune to these things. But yeah, it feels like a proper home, and this room feels much more like a nice sort of family type room. Obviously we've got the TV up, and yeah, it's definitely all just coming together now. So I painted this wall again yesterday. This just needed another coat, but it didn't need like cutting in and everything. It literally just needed a quick second coat, so that went on really well. That was fine, and this wall looks perfect. And then we had all of this wall to do. So my dad mist coated the top half for me because I'd done as far as I could reach, but then obviously all of this top bit needed the ladders. So he did all of that for me, and then he basically did just paint this entire wall. And I just kind of did like little bits here and there with the roller and the paintbrush, but quite a lot of the day I kind of just sat back and observed, or I just like potted around the house doing other bits and bobs, which was just really, really helpful. So I'm so glad that this is now finished. I do feel like a weight has been lifted. I don't know why I'm getting so picky with things. I think this is obviously must kind of relate a little bit to nesting, but my nesting is presenting itself in like reno jobs and like household things rather than like organising and cleaning and tidying and stuff. I feel like I've just got jobs all over the place that I want finishing before this baby's here, and I don't even really know why, because certain things just won't affect us at all. But yeah, it's all just kind of in my mind at the moment, but I do feel so much better that this is all done. So the only bit like problem area, as I think I've mentioned, is this bit on the beam here. So I'll see if I can show you now in the daylight. It does look very different on camera than it does in real life. I don't know whether you can see pretty much this like big patch here. I'll go from the other side as well, see if you can kind of just see all the patchiness there. And I don't really know what to do with this area. I want Louis to go over it with a roller again, but the roller seems to be the issue, and that is what is pulling the paint off. So as soon as he rolls over this with wet paint, it's just pulling off the dry paint, and then yeah, it's just kind of making the situation worse. So my plan was to just kind of scrap the roller and just go over with the paintbrush, because the paintbrush doesn't pull anything off. I can go over it with white paint with a brush and that seems to be fine. But you can kind of see a little bit there how patchy it really is. And that is just bothering me. These tiny little like niggly bits that just aren't perfect are really getting to me. So yeah, we need to do something with that. I don't know whether to get Louis to go over it with the roller again, or whether I'm just going to get annoyed when the paint comes off, because I feel like it's kind of inevitable that that's going to happen, because it's happened every time we've gone over it with a roller. More paint has come off, and that's why like this patch is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So yeah, not sure what to do with that, but I'm just gonna forget about that today, because that's not what we need on a day like today where I'm trying to be calm and zen and chill. I need to just not look at that beam. Louis has just nipped out. He should be due back any time now. I think he's gone to get green bags, I want to say, for like garden waste. So because it's been quite dry the past few days and it's a pretty decent day today, I think he's going to cut the grass, because it is just getting a little bit fluffy. Let me open these. Yeah, it is just getting quite long in certain areas, and I feel like this could just do with a little bit of a cut, just the top layer sort of taking off the grass. And obviously we've got lots of stuff in the garden. I just feel like I don't know where it's all come from, and it's just accumulated over the past couple of years, and obviously like the extension and having the builders here, and yeah, the garden just isn't looking great. So that's a job on Louis' list to do, which is just to basically make the best of this garden. So obviously cut the grass, clean it up, pick up any rubbish, get rid of, like, we've got a pile of rubbish there that just kind of needs to go to the tip, and yeah, just make this look a little bit better if possible. So I think that's what he's going to do this afternoon. I'll show you the little bits that we've got. I mentioned that I'd got some things from Dunelm. So one of the things that, well, technically two of the things that I have got, I'll go and grab them. So the bits that I've got for this room, so the living room, are wall lights. lights, which I've been looking at for such a long time. It's taken me ages to find wall lights that I actually like, that I'm happy with. We've obviously got cables here for wall lights either side of the like fireplace chimney breast wall. So I'll pop a picture on screen of the ones that I originally saw that I really liked. These are Jim Lawrence ones, and they weren't cheap, shall we say. They were sort of top of our budget, I would say, but I was willing to wait and like save up for them. But the issue was, obviously, in this area we've got the wall light here, which has just got a little makeshift like bulb on it at the moment, but the cable is there. And then we've got the light switch quite close underneath it, which wasn't the original plan. I think this ended up being like this because of a design error on my part. I did all of the lighting plan and pretty much like designed the layout and everything for the house. We did have an architect that drew up plans and like dealt with planning permission and stuff, but on the whole I did all of the lighting plan. Obviously Louis did the rewire, and I originally had the light switch on this wall here, this big empty space that would have been perfect for a light switch. However, I didn't factor in that the door was opening this way, so the light switch would have been hidden behind the door, which is obviously just not practical when you're walking into a room. You don't want to have to like walk in and go behind the door to get to the light switch. And I'd done that in a couple of the rooms, which we didn't pick up on until Louis had done the whole rewire, and it was too late basically. So luckily he was able to move this one over here, but we had the same problem in this room. So originally this door was supposed to swing open this way, but I'd put the light switches there and they were already in place. The whole wall had been chased, all the cables were there, so we couldn't move these over to this side. So we basically had to flip the way that the door opened, and luckily it literally just fits in this gap here so that we can actually have the door kind of like swung right open, which we knew we would majority of the time anyway. We very rarely close this door, but obviously then we still needed access to the utility. So this was a bit of an issue at one point, but it all worked out fine in the end. So yeah, anyway, the Jim Lawrence wall lights I thought might not have been ideal here because they've got quite a long sort of stem that comes down. I just thought it was going to be too close to the light switch and it wasn't going to look right in that area. So I kind of changed my mind a little bit and was looking at different wall lights. And yeah, I've just been trawling the internet for like months and months looking for the perfect wall light. And then I came across these ones on Dunelm, which were £20, and I wasn't sure when I originally ordered them what the gold was going to be like. I thought there might have been a bit of a sort of yellow, like cheap looking gold, but they're actually not at all. I feel like this is the perfect sort of antique brass colour that I wanted to go for. They look really nice against the light switches. It's pretty much a perfect match. So yeah, we've got an absolute bargain there, saved ourselves a fortune. And then I wasn't sure whether to have them up like that with a shade on top or whether to actually have them facing down. I think I'm going to have them facing up just because it's a lot easier to find a lampshade to fit on if they're this way up rather than pointing down. So these do just need attaching to the wall. The other issue that I've got, things are never straightforward, and I am picky, but you have to be with these things. I feel like Louis has wired these a tiny little bit too high. I want them a little bit lower. Same on this side. Obviously there's plenty of cable, we've got enough cable, and it's nothing crazy. Maybe he's literally like, I don't know, 10 centimetres lower, something like that. But yeah, I just feel like they're a little bit too high up for me, so that does mean he's going to have to chase out a little bit of the wall, which obviously makes more mess and makes more holes in the walls, which is kind of what I want to avoid at the moment, but we're going to have to do it at some point. I don't just want to put the wall lights on too high and like look at them for the rest of my life and wish that we'd done them lower. So yeah, it's a bit of a tricky situation, but I think I'd rather them be right, and then we can obviously just at some point fill the holes and paint over it. It's not the end of the world. So yeah, that's the wall light. And then I also got these little lampshades, which I don't know whether to take the packaging off, because I do really like them, but we're gonna have to wait until these are attached to the wall, I think, to see exactly how these look. But these were also from Dunelm. I don't know how well you'll be able to see them because the lighting isn't great, but they're kind of like a bit of a taupe colour. They're quite a warm grey, and this was a £5, so altogether the whole wall light has cost us like 25 quid. But it's got this little like scalloped edge, which I just think is quite pretty, and I don't know, just kind of the vibe that I wanted to go for. So that is how the wall lights look. I also got us some new bedding. So this is the bedding that I was on about. It's got a little bit of like a floral print. The bedding that we've currently got and that we've just always had is just plain white. I always just go for the cheapest bedding that I can find. This was only cheap, to be fair. I think this was 20 quid. But yeah, I've never splashed out on bedding, and we always only have one set of bedding. So when I wash it, I have to strip the bed, wash, dry it, and make the bed again all in one day. So I kind of have to make sure I've planned in my mind when I'm changing the bedding, because if I leave it too late in the day and it's not washed and dried in time, then it ends up being like late on a night and I'm having to make the bed just before I want to like get into bed, which is a nightmare. So yeah, I just kind of thought I would treat us to a new set of bedding, something a little bit springy, something with a little bit of pattern on it, and then at least we've got two sets that we can sort of alternate between. And this one is actually reversible, so one side is stripy like this, which I also really like. If you've seen any of my other videos, you'll have probably picked up on the fact that I've got a bit of a thing with stripes at the moment. Obviously we've done our nursery like stripy on the walls, but I don't know, I'm really enjoying a stripe at the moment, and I just think this will look nice to have a little bit of the floral design on show, and then maybe like the pillowcases flipped to like the stripy side. I don't know, that's what I'm thinking in my head anyway, but I might pop this on the bed because I just feel like I'm excited to see how this looks. And I've got some prints upstairs as well that Louis has said he will put on the wall today at some point, and they're sort of like floral, botanical, like wildflower, just very simple, but just something to sort of make our bedroom feel and look a little bit nicer, because our bedroom is absolutely fine. It's just a very plain room. And again, I think I'm just getting into like my nesting a little bit, and obviously that's where we're going to be sleeping. Like the nursery is absolutely gorgeous and we've put loads of time and effort into that, and it looks really lovely, but nobody's going to be in there for a long time. We're all obviously going to be in our bedroom, so I just kind of want to make that look and feel as nice as possible, just with a few little like cheap bits here and there. So that is my plan. And I also got a light fitting for the nursery, which I think might be upstairs. I think Louis moved it yesterday. Hopefully he'll be able to get that done today as well, and I'll show you how that looks. But yeah, sorry I've just talked your head off for however long I've been talking for, but they're the updates that I've got. I completely forgot I've made a cup of tea, so I'm going to go and drink my cup of tea, and then yeah, I'll just show you what we get up to throughout the day. So I've been doing a little bit of flower arranging just with the artificial flowers that we've got, which I've actually got a lot more than I thought I had. I kept finding like vases full of artificial flowers all over the place, so I've managed to make up like quite a few little vases to just dot around the house and sort of bring in a little bit of like springiness. So I've given this one a little bit of a rejig in the living room. I did really like this big display that was here. This one is a little bit lower than the other one was. The other one was a little bit more dramatic, but I just wanted to like, I don't know, just give a bit of a spring refresh in here. So this is what I've gone with in this vase. I don't know whether this is really like my favourite. I might rejig this at some point, but I wanted to add in the gypsophilia and the daisies. I absolutely love daisies and they just remind me of our wedding. That's what I went for in my wedding flowers, and then I've just added bits of like white and green and a little bit of colour in here. And then in the kitchen I've got a few little updates in here. So I've added some flowers into this pot up here. That's just a very like subtle change, but this pot was just empty before, so I've popped some flowers in there just to give it a little bit more height and obviously just a little bit more like springiness as well. And then along the windowsill, the lighting's probably not going to be great because it is like so bright outside, but all of these little pots Louis picked up, I think just from like our local corner shop for, I don't know, like 50p a pound, 50p. They were all in the clearance sale basically, and Louis just can't say no if anything is in the clearance. So yeah, that's why we've got loads of pots along this windowsill. They won't be staying here. I'm not sure what he's planning on doing with them. I think he is actually going to like plant them on the front possibly, but for now he's just put them all on the windowsill, which I'm not too mad about because I do just like the floralness here. And then in the middle I've just salvaged a few little bits of what was left from a bunch of flowers that Louis got me for my birthday, which was literally like a month ago. They've lasted really well, but it just seemed a shame to throw these away because they're still actually looking quite good. So I've just popped some fresh water in the vase and popped them back in the middle. And then over here I've done a little bunch in this vase. So this is the new vase that I got from Temu. And then I've also done a little display in here. I think these are, I want to say the hydrangeas, but correct me if I'm wrong because I have no idea with like flowers and plants and stuff. But again, obviously these are just artificial. And I've popped these in this cute little vase that says bunches of love. And I've just put that in the middle of this coffee table because I just, yeah, thought that that looked quite nice there. And then I have also done a little like arrangement for our bedroom as well that I've taken upstairs. So I'll show you that in a little bit when I go up. I've got the bedding in the washing machine. So I am going to put the new bedding on, get Louis to put the prints up, and then I'll show you sort of how the bedroom is looking at the end of the day. He is messing about in the garden still, so he's cut all of the grass, which looks a million times better already. How much better does that garden look? It actually looks like a proper garden. Nelson's loving his life because the sun's out and we've got so many balls in this garden. He's just loving it. There's Louis just picking some weeds. And just having like a general tidy up. Obviously he's picked up the bits of rubbish. It's probably just things that have like fallen out of our like recycling bag and stuff, but yeah, it's just looking a lot better already.
What are you doing?
What do you mean, what am I doing?
What are you talking about?
The garden.
I hate this stuff.
I know, that is a nightmare. It's a nightmare every time you like step in and out because it's all little tiny bits of stones and gravel. You just pull it all into the house. If anybody's got any suggestions on like something that we can do instead of this.
That's cheap.
Yeah, that's not full patio. That'd be good. So it is a bit of a nightmare. There's all sorts in it as well. There's like bits of glass and The builders just put it down for us so that it wasn't like
Hello?
sort of muddy. But yeah, it's not really ideal. But yeah, garden is looking good. So here is a little bedroom update. I'm hoping the lighting is going to be decent enough in here for you to be able to see. It's now actually the next day and it's a proper like miserable rainy day, not very nice at all compared to the past couple of days have been really like sunny and spring-like, and today is just miserable and not very nice. But Louis did put our prints up last night, so yeah, happy with those. Apologies for being out of breath, but these are just some prints from Team U. I feel like these came in possibly in a set of 5 or 6, I think, but I've obviously just chosen 3 out of there just because we had these frames and we've kind of always had like 3 prints above the bed like this in our old house and obviously now in this house. So yeah, I just think they look quite pretty there. And then this is our new bedding. It is a little bit creased. I did iron this last night before we put it on because I wanted it to be all like crisp and fresh and just looking nice, but ironing bedding is an absolute nightmare, so I only did so much of it before I just sort of gave up. But yeah, I'm really happy with the bedding. I think that looks really nice. I like the fact that the other side is stripy and then I've got like the stripes on the pillowcases as well. I've dug out our like decorative cushions as well, which have just been in the extension, like in storage, literally since we moved in, because we just haven't sort of like properly made the bed like this for a long time. So yeah, I've dug those out, put them on the bed. I've got this throw on here as well, which again we've always had in our bedroom. We had this in the old house. This obviously sort of matches like the cushions and just that sort of colour scheme. I might change this out though for like spring summer, because this is a very thick fur throw, but I just absolutely love the colours of this, like the sort of deep orangey red colours in it. Very nice. But yeah, I might swap that out at some point over like the next few months. And then we've also got this chest of drawers here, which I got Louis to move because this had been pushed over, so it was more like over this side and it had just been left there for ages. So we've got this back in place. I need to sort out the top of it. I want to kind of style it up a little bit. I did these flowers yesterday when I was like arranging all of the artificial flowers, but obviously these are a little bit too tall and they cover the telly, which isn't very practical. So I need to swap those out or bring some different flowers up. But I am going to style this a little bit more instead of just having random rubbish on there like that. We've always got a tape measure or screws or nails or a hammer or like some sort of tool lying around on every surface in this house. We've also got our next to me crib here as well. This is just this was just off Amazon, this one. I've got my big pregnancy pillow in there at the moment because best believe this is in the bed with me every single night. It just doesn't look great styled up on the bed, so I've popped it in there for now. But yeah, we did build this next to me a couple of weeks ago when we first like got it delivered, just to make sure it was all okay, and we've just kind of like left it there. So it'll probably just stay there until baby girl is here. I need to move these bits as well. I don't actually really know why they're in here or what exactly they're for. I think these bits of glass go on top of these actually. So I think there's one that fits on there and there's one that fits on the bedside table as well, but there's only one that fits on the bedside table, which is a little bit annoying. But yeah, they've just been plonked there for months, so I might just move those into the extension and out of here because there's no need for them to be in here. We do also have some mirrors in the extension as well, so I don't know whether to put a mirror either on this wall, sort of like a long mirror, or maybe on this wall because they're two like quite big empty spaces. Yeah, we'll see, but I just wanted to give you a little bedroom update. And we also, Louis put the light up in the nursery as well, so I'll show you that. And then I think that is all of the house updates that we got done this weekend. So This is the little light fitting from Dunelm. Very, very cute. This was £40, so it wasn't too expensive at all, and it is proper, like, thick, good quality, like, glass. But yeah, I just thought that was cute, and it brings in a little bit of girliness, a little bit of pink. We've also got a blanket here, which my mum actually bought for us, but I just think that's really nice as well, with the sort of, like, frilled edge. So yeah, that just styles up the nursery quite nicely. I don't know whether I showed you these prints as well. I know I have showed them in previous videos, but all three of them weren't up until recently. We've now got all three matching prints up on this wall, which are really nice. I feel like this nursery's kind of taken a bit of a like wildflower theme to it, which wasn't really intentional, to be honest, but I'm quite enjoying it. Yeah, that's pretty much all we got done this weekend. Louis didn't manage to do the wall lights in the living room just because he didn't have time yesterday, basically. So that's a job that he'll hopefully do soon, and I'll obviously show you those once they're done. Yeah, I feel like there's been lots of updates and I've talked your ear off this entire video. But yeah, I'm going to end this video here. I really hope you have enjoyed watching, and I will see you all very soon.